right, the Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 1939. This is the first major unit after the prescribed subject, and this is part of the broader topic, the causes, practices, and effects of war. The Spanish Civil War is from region, Europe, and the Middle East. This is primarily going to be important for paper 2. So, the category, the causes, practices, and effects of war, and the region, Europe and the Middle East. Before we talk about the specifics of the Spanish Civil War, just to review some general characteristics of civil wars. First, civil wars are traditionally fought between factions within a country or different regions of a country. Second, fighting is typically over control of the national government or fighting to break away from the national government and to form your own independent nation. For something like this, think about the American Civil War and the Confederacy. Typically with Civil War, we have one group in power and then one group challenging them. So we have an incumbent and an insurgent power. An important idea for civil wars, and this is going to be important particularly for Spain, is that the government cannot successfully resolve political disputes between factions, nor can they maintain order. Because they can neither resolve disputes or maintain order, we see the outbreak of violence. And lastly, civil wars can be limited conflicts. They can potentially be total wars. And the reason there's a question mark there is first, going back to the question of World War I, is any war really total? And then two, a civil war can easily be a total war within a particular country, but leave the surrounding countries unaffected. Civil wars can be guerrilla, and oftentimes they involve outside or foreign involvement. This foreign involvement is going to be particularly important for the Spanish Civil War. Key themes for Paper 2. So, when we talk about Paper 2, and when we talk about the category, we're talking about the category causes, practices, and effects of war. So the things that you want to look for as we talk about the Spanish Civil War. First, the different types of warfare. And again, this is going to be with the Spanish Civil War, civil war. But also, is it a guerrilla conflict? Is it a limited war? Is it a total war? And what do those differences mean for the way it's fought and its effects? Second, we want to focus particularly on the origins and the causes of war. This is going to be pretty important for the Spanish Civil War. Third, we want to look at the nature of wars, meaning how does technology, how do tactics, how do the way it was fought affect the outcome of the war, and also how do those change the effects of the war. And then lastly, we want to look at the effects or the results of the war itself. So because of the war, what happened to the civilian population, what happened to the political structure of the nation, what happened to various subgroups, women, ethnic minorities, or different economic classes. 3 questions that we want to keep in the back of our mind as we study the subject. And all 3 questions could easily appear for Paper 2. The first, why did a civil war break out in Spain in 1936? So this is going to focus on the causes or the origins of wars. The second, how significant was the impact of foreign involvement on the outcome of the Spanish Civil War? So this is going to focus on the nature of war. And then lastly, what were the effects of the Spanish Civil War? And I think that's fairly intuitively obvious, the effects of the results of war. When we talk about Spain, we're talking about this geographic region known as the Iberian Peninsula. Spain itself, we see Portugal contained on its western coast. Directly south, and you can't see it on this map, is Morocco. To the northeast, we have France. Here, you have a mountain chain, the Pyrenees. An important figure, here we see Francisco Franco. He will end up victorious after the Spanish Civil War, and he's going to rule until the 1970s. And this last bit, this is by the surrealist artist Salvador Dali, the Spanish artist. If this looks menacing and creepy and sort of almost nightmarish, this is by choice. Dali was significantly influenced by the violence and the chaos of the Spanish Civil War. And we're going to look at a couple of his pieces as we go forward. So that concludes the introduction. The next video is going to be part 1, the 500-year Civil War.
King of